What is up, legends? We are back another week, another hype watch. All right, so we're starting off this week going in high Eternal Strands. Oh, this game is looking absolutely amazing. I want to actually put it out there for you guys so you can see it and understand it with your eyes and feel it with your soul, because it's going to be one of those good ones out there that you should probably definitely hop into and see what it's about. It's going to be an action adventure, as you guys can see. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Zelda 3D action type. Obviously we have Genshin, and then now we even have Infinity Nikki, which we're going to talk about a little bit later. Out there as far as one of the this action adventure type of stuff, which is just cool. Like, this just looks amazing. I hope I don't see any multiplayer going on right now. Even if it doesn't have it, like, look at this. This looks great. And we did talk about this before in HypeWatch, but it's coming closer. As you can see, the release date is the 28th of next month. So have at it, early access, not early access, put it in your wish list and, jump into it. Next up, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tactical Takedown. There is 4 already new Ninja Turtle games this year, which is crazy because we probably only have 4 in the last 15, but 15 years rather. But we got 4 this year alone. I don't know what's going on with Ninja Turtles. They killing it right now, and all the games are cool. This looks interesting too. Not like typical. Like, it's tactical and turn-based. There's a lot of turn-based fans out there, so people are gonna just love this, and obviously people love the turtles, so jump in and take a look at it. Bleach Rebirth for Souls is actually coming out March 20th. It's a ways away. It is $59.99. They got so much stuff. This seems like a full feature game that might be worth the $60 price, because you're gonna go through the entire Bleach arc and play all these legendary characters in this show. I can't wait, yo. Bandai, obviously, but I can't wait. This game looks great, and they have a lot of modes, which they are starting to actually talk about all the modes right now. So you basically, the cinematics, the way everything, like, bro, look at this. It looks clean. I can't wait. Speaking of looking clean, Mai is now going to be coming out soon, and dog. Yeah, dog. So here's the thing. Look at Yuna. Yuna kind of looks slightly like Mai, so that's probably why Yuna said that. But here's the thing about Street Fighter. Street Fighter is an engine. For the most part, when it comes to actually doing faces, is a little bit, it's a little bit, so Mai's face, let's see if I could go back one. She looks fine, but it doesn't typically look like Mai, from like DOA 5 or DOA 6 and stuff like that. And the funny thing is about those faces aren't photorealistic, they're cartoon. And I see people comparing both of them, like so the problem with gaming is that when people see photorealistic, because that's a photorealistic face right there, that's what that's called, and people are like, well, it doesn't look like Mai. It's because Mai looks like a cartoon. It's not like, if you're doing like realism, that's what the engine is doing, is making something look more human. It's not going to make something look more cartoon, outside of maybe like Akuma. But even Akuma, it tried its best to make Akuma look more human. So I think that's the problem. People are looking for a cartoon face and a realistic character type of game. Like, there's nothing wrong with this at all. It's just that it doesn't look like the traditional way that Mai looks. He has a round cartoon face. Matter of fact, I think see anybody? Yeah, perfect example. All right, so if you look at KOF, you see how KOF 15 looks? That's a cartoon face. DOA 6, that's a cartoon face. And then when you get down to the bottom, she has shading. She has obviously pores in her face. If it was like 1080p or something like this, Twitter don't have that type of stuff like that. And you see people say, "Oh, DOA is better." It's like that's because that's a cartoon face, dog. And look at this person right here. All of that. It's fun. There's nothing wrong with it, but I see people like, well, why'd they do that? It's like you're expecting a realistic engine to do a cartoon face. That's not going to work out very well, and that's the issue on that. So, no, is what it is. A lot of the problem is that there's too many people on the internet that try to be critics and don't understand the technology. But they're like, why are you doing this? No, you have to understand the technology to understand why something is the way it is. Not that you should agree with it. You should have your opinion, but you should understand why it is. And I kind of just explained it. I'm not going to go out and Twitter and try to explain this everywhere because I'll be talking to a million people talking about why she's not having a cartoon face in a game that nobody has a cartoon face. But so whatever. The Star Savior. This is going to be coming soon. This is another one to be looking out for, or obviously, make sure that if you are into. For me, this is interesting because obviously it's made by the Counterside people, and I always said the Counterside was a game that is very much underrated. It didn't get the props it deserves. It's a very good game, and it just didn't get the audience that I felt it deserves. It should have as big an audience as Arknights, in my opinion. I think it's a really cool game. Hopefully they get that in this game. Just putting it out there. Next up is Ananta. Ananta now has its pre-register up, so now you can pre-register it, and they got a trailer that you can actually take a look at. And they're billing it like it's supposed to be open world city GTA like, and you run around and obviously got the waifus and everything else like this. I'm interested. This might be our next big thing, to be honest with you. I'm looking at this and Ethereal Restart as the next big things, like really big. Like it might blow up, be like DK and everything else, that type of realm. Marvel Mystic Mayhem also has its pre-register up right now. Another tactical game, hop in that to your liking. But that is recently announced. Recently came out right now is Infinity Nikki. Bro, I know so many women playing this game, and I told y'all that was gonna happen. That women was just gonna have a fit and be playing this and going crazy. It's actually a really cool game. I put a video up on my channel covering it. It's a really cool game. It's basically Genshin for women solely. Like men are probably not going to. Obviously, I reviewed and played it. I actually like Nikki as a character. If you've seen her other games and stuff like this, he's a cool character. Just not for me. Not like for people like me who are more on the power fantasy type. I guess you would say shonen type of gamers. That's not gonna be like along my lines, but this is literally the entire game is like Genshin basically, and for women, if we're being honest. And there's nothing wrong with that, to be honest with you, because they don't get games mentally focused like where you get the dress up and everything else, the graphics, and graphically this game is amazing looking. Do not play this on mobile. You will not like the way it looks. It looks bad on mobile compared to the way it looks on PC. Just a fact. I know people were like, well, I got mobile, I won't play it on mobile. Like, dog, it is night and day. It's like two different games. All this, this game looks like it runs like this. My computer didn't have any trouble. Everything anywhere that you can see. Granted, not like those background mountains, stuff like that, like the peaks, anywhere that you can. Well, technically some of that you can, but anywhere you can see, you can run off and go explore it and everything else. It's just like a really magical world. I wish that it was more so for men, because then I could play it and cover it, but it's what it is. I think it is a really cool game and stuff like that. It's obviously a cozy game. It's meant for, just chilling and collecting stuff and playing dress up and stuff like that. And, Nikki obviously is a cool character to do that with a bunch of cool clothing and stuff like this. Dog, can we get a unisex game where we get clothing like that for the men and the women, and we can run around and do new badass stuff? I would love it, but it's what it is. I think this is going to do a really good job. Go Muffin is now out. Excuse me, I have a cold. I'm fighting through it. Go Muffin is now out. This is like Ooh La La, but it's like I guess a more advanced version of that. So if you liked Ooh La La, which is ULALA, if you like that game, where like Idol and everything else like this, you will probably like this game, and you can play with your friends and co-op and everything else. Very chill game, chill power fantasy like game. I might be able to hop into it. I see a lot of people probably going to play this. Girls Frontline 2, obviously you guys know that it is now out. Your boy, playing it, doing my thing out here, out here, bam, doing our thing, and like we out here, we playing, we play all the time. I have a lot of fun in this game because this game is fun, and the characters are pretty cool. I like the girls and everything else. But you have to let the game, if you let the game be easy and streamlined, like I've been trying to show people, it will be. But what I noticed a lot of times, especially with consecration, with these type of games, they overcomplicate the game. Like, you have to have this character or you can't play the game. And I'm sitting there like, I'm ahead of all you guys using like base characters. The hell y'all talking about? You have to do something. You don't have to do a damn thing in this game. And that throws people off because I'm talking differently than other people. And part of the reason is because I'm a veteran gamer and I don't fall for that BS. That's what it really is at the end of the day. And I'm not trying to clickbait you. I'm just going to tell you the truth and say, hey, you can play and you can do this and you'll be just fine. You don't got to spin. You don't got to wail. You gonna be chilling here looking at me. You gonna be like we gonna be sitting at end game drinking a beer or something like that. That's it. That's all we got to do. But what happens is that's not that popular on YouTube. So what people do is they'll be like, "You need this character. Oh my god, best build ever. Your account's broken if you don't have this." And I'm like, "You lying?" Like every gacha game that happens, and I'll be sitting there, any game that I play and that happens, and the people come to my chat, well, this is good. I'll be like, shut the hell, I don't care. I don't care. Take a tier list and shove it up where, because it happens every game, and they're trying to do in this game, and then I'm directly in the way of them doing that, because I'm like literally showing everybody that that's not the case. Like, and I've already played the game all the way through in China twice, and then did it in global with CBT a third time, and now this is the fourth time. And I'm looking at everybody who was like, y'all just overcomplicating this game for no reason. Got everybody thinking that they got to re-roll a million times for a character that you ain't even going to use until end game. Jesus Christ. Next up is a Path of Exile 2. If you guys are looking probably for like the big hit of the year, this is probably it. Matter of fact, it is it. I'm not even gonna say probably. It's gonna be amazing. Everybody gonna be in it. I'm gonna be in it. Costs $30. That's it. Full feature game, $30. Early access though, but this is like Diablo and Demon Souls on crack. That's what it is. And I ignored this November 21st. I don't know what that is. I guess that was like media or something like that, whatever that is. But me personally, I don't know what build I'm gonna, because there's so much cool stuff that I've been seeing and watching, like all of the media stuff over the past week. I personally am, I don't know what I'm gonna pick, pick, which is fun because you're just going in. Nobody really knows. Everybody played like, people who did do early, the early access, not like the creators that they pick for that type of stuff. I'm obviously not a PoE creator, so I wasn't going to be picked in that. I didn't apply for anything. I just was going to wait until it's out now, which is today. This is like the best time to play a game like this because nobody knows what's good and what's not good, and nobody knows there's no like tier list or anything like this trying to ruin all the fun. No person or people running and anything like in your DMs or in your chat and say like, you should do this. And not that I ever listen anyway, but like I feel bad for the people who are not like me because I'm an internet personality and a gamer, so I don't have to listen and literally can play well enough that and show them like, look, I'm just going to do what I do and it work, and that's be the end of the day. But what happens when it comes to the public is that when you're by yourself and say you're not somebody like that and you do things like that, then you have like 4 or 5 friends like, why are you doing this? This YouTuber said you're supposed to be doing that, and you suck, you're a noob and everything else. And don't act like that don't happen, because it does. We see that all day long. But what happens is let's say you go to Reddit and you're like, well, I like lightning build. You're gonna get 50 people telling you that fire build is OP and you suck and go see God. That's like, it's ridiculous how the gaming public is, but that's what's gonna happen. And what I try to do is I try to alleviate that a little bit and say, look, at least in my community, if you do something and it works, I'm high-fiving you. I don't even care if it's not meta. If you do something and you at the end, like you beat the boss and you chilling there with me, I don't care how you did it. You did it. You got good. I'm proud of you. I'm high five, dog. I will never tell anybody that they had a bad idea if their idea worked. I don't care if you did it 5 seconds short, longer than I did. You did it. In my world and how I treat everybody is everybody could be the cool kid. There's no such thing as nerds and no such thing as bad stuff like this. Everybody is the cool kid. I want everybody to be the cool kid. Everybody deserves to be the cool kid. There should be no losers. We only make people losers because we give them false senses of value when everybody should have a sense of value. That's just the way that I feel about that type of stuff and how I handle myself. That's why you always see me whenever somebody says, you should do this, that, and the third, and I'll be like, I won. I don't care. Like this person, and if they come into my chat, it's like, I did this and it worked. You see me, I give them the heart and like congrats. Like if somebody got a summon, I go and congrats. Like we need to start being more positive out here about stuff. The First Descendant now has like dog. This I don't know why this character look like almost directly like me, and even like I think I showed you guys before, like the devs actually responded to me when I said that originally a while ago, and I don't think they did, but the more and more I look at this character and I run around with him in game, he has like one of the sickest intros I have seen. Like he's just an amazing character. And the update's crazy because they cut all of the grind in the game in half. I'm not kidding. All of the grind in the game got cut in half. Across the board. Like how you cut all the grind in half? This is a game that I have 900 hours in. Let's see, does it actually show that here? It might. You know what? I don't have it running. That's gonna mess stuff up. I wanted to show you how many hours I have in the game, but I know I have over 900. I don't think I have 1,000 yet, but imagine if I got 400 of those hours back. That's essentially what they did. And I do again apologize, I have a cold. For everybody who plays the game, they essentially gave us 400 hours of playtime basically backing, like, because majority of that 900 hours is grinding and trying to get stuff and trying to get a drop, and they literally made all of that easier now. So amazing. Heaven Burns Red has its next update, and this is the next banner right here. I'm definitely trying to get that Ruka because he's one of my favorite gacha characters of all time. I actually have that Yuna. I actually have her already. I don't have that Karen right now. So this is currently, out right now. Have at it. Star Resonance is another game that is coming out soon. You guys can see, Gacha chilling, and it obviously is going to be Wuthering Waves, Genshin type of feel, type of hype. Let it rock. I think it's going to be a good one. Think. Look at this. Might be fun. it has that sharp look to it. It's not as bold as Genshin. It's not as dark as Lua, because Lua uses dark saturation, which I think they do that on purpose to not look like Genshin. Some people like that, some don't. But this is somewhere in the middle. It's using a sharp filter. Dog, is he flying? Like mid battle? So we'll see. We'll see. Definitely one to look out for. As soon as this loads. Speaking of Ninja Turtles, again, Ninja Turtles has a collab with Hero Wars. Hero Wars is that ad where you always seeing like the mobile where they're playing like math, and then he gets like an item and gets OP and then gets double crossed and gets kicked all the way to the bottom of the screen, and then he got to play math again to get back up to the top. That game. So they got the turtles in it now, which that's an interesting take and look on the turtles. That's kind of like I think this is supposed to be Gen 2 turtles, like when they got their colors. Because Gen 1 is when they were all like they all had the red, like they were all like Raph, like all of them had the same red bandana and all that type of stuff. But Gen 2 is when they started to look like this and they all got their colors. So again, this is hilarious. I'm gonna just go ahead and give you more hype on a game. So this is Rememento rather. This is another one. This remember the color I was just talking about? This is the same type of color that Will uses. It's the dark saturation. Like this is I didn't even plan it like this, but this is where you get the good example of what dark saturation is. They're using the same type of color palette for this, which is like pretty cool. And I could tell you, literally, well, I don't know how many of them survived. There were 20 games like this last year. Some got canceled, obviously. And there's about 9 that I know, that are all playing like Wuthering Waves, basically. Acting and looking. Some of them turn-based, some of them are action adventures. No, but not bad. Not bad. We'll see. Me personally, when I see games like this, I'm looking for the combat to be like the Wuthering Waves and the Triple Z. I don't want it to be face roll like Genshin. And last week somebody came in and did like a whole paragraph of how Genshin is like the most in-depth gameplay combat. I'm sitting there. I read it. I read all of it because I never seen somebody lie so bad. And we all know that Genshin is not the most in-depth combat on the market. The devs literally said that they don't want it to be like that, and they directly made it so that it is easier so everybody can get into. And you still have people who will come out there and lie in 4K to the whole world like it's the most in-depth thing, like you playing freaking Elden Ring. Like I'm sitting there looking at this person like, you sat there, he probably was angry typing too. You really sat there and you're wherever you were at in the world and lied to everybody. Like I can't, I please, community, don't be like that person. Don't have something be 4K 100% is what it is and then still try to make it something else just because you want it to be, just because somebody said something what you perceive to be negative about your favorite thing. That is fine. People can have opinions. You don't need to lie and make something else more than what it is. Like, don't do that. It is so bad and tacky looking at the end of the day. Like, I'm like, bruh, like, it's okay. Your game makes a lot of money, which we're about to talk about at the end of this video. You don't need to be out here lying, dog. It's all right. You be okay. All right. So the hidden ones. So this is actually based off of a very insane and good manga webtoon / anime that always comes out in vanishes. I don't know what goes on with it, but the anime was amazing. And you're gonna if you look at the gameplay trailer for this, the gameplay is literally just what the anime is. It's the same, except that's creepy though, but it's the same thing. Literally the same thing. So it's funny to me watching everybody freak out looking at the gameplay trailer for this particular game. I'm gonna have to look at. No, we're not. um, and you can sign up for the pre-alpha test, by the way, as well. So hop into that. But like I was saying, to see people, freaking out, like, oh my god, what is this? I've never even seen it. This is amazing. Like, watch the anime. For everybody, when you see the trailer, watch the anime. You're gonna see that the anime does exactly the same thing as what the trailer does. This is like a hidden gem type of anime slash manga slash webtoon type of thing. It's definitely a hidden gem. It's a game that will captivate people, and it's an anime that I believe it only has one season. So watch it 100%. However you want to do it. If it's, I don't even think it's on Crunchyroll. So that you're free reign to go, do your Pirates of the Caribbean on it. So. Last but certainly not least, we're gonna talk about this really quick. Not as in depth or anything like that. I just want to touch on it because I'm just not gonna do a video for this this week. I have too much stuff going on to do. So overall, this is a list, and I'm gonna put it in the description because when people do stuff like this, I like to give them credit. So give this post a like. You don't have to say it that I've sent because people be doing that. Don't do that. There's no need. Just give the person some credit and the like. Money wise, so Love and Deep Space makes a lot of money CN wise, which is ironic because China does not like games like that. They don't like the boy love games. It's not like boy and boy, but it's like literally like the romantic type of stuff. They don't like it. Let me rephrase that. The government does not like it because there's depictions in the game, which is they nerfed a lot of those depictions, by the way. But they like, and it's crazy. I think this number literally is like the people in China just being like, "F you, government, we gonna play this game." I really think that's what it is. And I think that's crazy. For almost 50 million, like, and they do that every month, dog. Same thing with Arknight. Both of those are literally carrying the global regions. Like, the global regions can make $1 and won't even matter because they just making money. And it's working the same way like that with Genshin right now. Genshin is like leveling out for the most part, but not in China. Genshin is just really big in China. DK doesn't have a Chinese base, mainly because China, like, it will get so nerfed going to China because Chinese government is not about to have them booty shaking. They're not about to do that. You are just not gonna get away with that. But you see, the crazy thing about that is DK outgrosses Genshin, Arknights, and Deep Space globally. They should try to go into China, but I know they're not going to. Star Rail, I kind of figured Star Rail wasn't going to do that great last month like this, and but 21, we're saying that, but in total, Nikkei and Star Rail made over 20 million. Monster Strike, we always talk about that. The same thing with Zenless. Zenless made over 18 million. It probably cost them 2 million a month to run those games, and they made 16 million in profit for Zenless. And then the same thing, and easily, because the main reason it probably costs that much is because of how many people are playing the game, and then they have to pay staff. Staff is usually between like maybe 10 to 20 people, or if that, or something like that. So I doubt it's much higher than that because most AAA studios, we're talking about AAA studios, don't have more than 100 to 200 people. Say like Square Enix, like the Final Fantasy team is like 100 people. So Gacha ain't gonna have more than that. And we have Wuthering Waves, who people be claiming is EOS any day. Wuthering Wave is 17 million, right behind Zenless and Monster Strike and Star Rail and DK and all the rest of, like, Wuthering Waves is not EOS's. So like, you see all that capping that they be doing on Twitter, it ain't going nowhere, dog. Like, people just be saying stuff. They be yapping. Uma Masune, about to come global. should be okay. They got 14 million going on. Dragon Ball Legends staying solid at 13. Idol Masters at 12, which is interesting. Dokkan at 11. Light and Night at 11. And Scion. That's crazy too. Puzzle Dragons hanging in at 10. AFK Journey. That seems about normal with AFK Journey at just under 10. That outrageous number they had at like 50 million before. I don't believe that at all. But I think that was like a combination of months. The Battle Cat, 7 million. Okay. Summoners War. Okay, so Jujutsu Kaisen. Another game that people was like, it's going EOS. People ain't playing this game. That's like less than like what 20 days that they had, and they made 7. So they probably would have hit 10 for the full month. That's very respectable. That's not we going EOS next month, dog. That's not even. They ain't going to EOS in like 4. The 7 million will carry them for like 6 months from now, and they'll probably get between like 4 to 5 on average from like the next 2 or 3 months, and they'll start to taper off until it gets to like around 2 to 3 million, and it'll probably not cost them that much because it's not a heavy fidelity game. They'll be in the black for a while as long as they keep going, and they keep trying so hard to make everybody happy in that game, and I feel so bad for them because people are so mean. But JJK, they try very, very hard to make the community happy. And we always try to down stuff, but I got to give dev teams credit when they try, and they're trying. So, give them a break, community. One Piece Bounty Rush, hanging in there. Blue Archive, hanging in there, 6 million. Beyond the World, I don't know what that is. Next up, that's interesting. Heaven Burns Red, in about, it's been like almost 3 weeks now. Going on there. I think today is actually 3 weeks. So in a half a month, HBR did 5 million. That's not bad. Definitely not bad. Good debut. Memento Mori hanging in around at 5 million. I don't believe that number either, but okay. Azure Lane, Ensemble Stars, all of these are respectable numbers. One number that's lower than I thought that it would be, that's crazy to me, is Solo Leveling. I thought that would be higher, but it's still fine. 4 million is still good money. First 1999 is China, they're just going nuts. Not so much globally. Punishing Grey Raven, again, China going nuts, not so much globally. Same thing with Honkai Impact III, and then everything else down here is where you start to get interesting. Lord of Nazareth, not doing that great. Final Fantasy Ever Crisis is actually doing more than what it was doing before, which is pretty good. Epic 7 is underachieving. I will always continue to keep saying that, but that's their own fault. Sport of Convallaria, I expected these numbers from that. Path to Nowhere, hanging in there with China right now. Global, not so much. You need to promote more. Everything on the bottom right here needs to promote more. Pokemon Master EX just announced EOS, so they're done. Snowbreak gets more money on the PC side than they do over here in global, or in general, but 1.4 million is still pretty nice. Persona, I didn't know they made that much money over there, but CN is carrying them hard right now. So respectable with the 1.1. Echo over here with 1 million hanging in there as well. Another Eden is the OG hanging in there. Aether Gazer with combined just under 1 million. They're still hanging. Gui Long Chao. That's 2 months in a row they've been around this. That is an amazing game. I wish it was doing better. And Dislight and everything else down here is in that trouble range. And the reason why it's in that trouble range is because it's probably almost costing them as much to maintain and make the game as they make. And then they still have to pay people. So everything down here from this point is in trouble, especially everything under 100K. Well, Alchemy Stars just announced EOS, so they're done. One Punch Man, Captain Tsubasa, Higan, I don't know how Higan is still there. Original Girls Frontline, they might as well just go away. Black Clover Mobile with 200K, they're about to be done too. NeuroCloud about to be done. Pika Combat is hanging in. anything Capcom Mobile. I swear to God. Anyway, that is all I got for you guys on this one. I combined it into HypeWatch because I just wanted to talk about that in general. And the last thing we'll actually say is, because I see the drama with it, and there's some stuff people don't really understand. Recently, HSR has been accused of copying Omni Miyoji. So here's the thing in the industry. You can roto trace, but you can't steal intellectual property. And what ended up happening is Sunday's trailer is obviously roto tracing the Omni Miyoji trailer. It just really is. You can see they took liberties on multiple places, and that's pretty obvious. Can you sue for that? No. It's like Drake trying to sue Kendrick right now. Yes, Kendrick did some stuff that Drake is absolutely right about, but at the end of the day, all it really is that, okay, they copied your homework a little bit, you can't sue. That's what it is. At the end of the day, when it comes to HSR and Amioji, you can't patent like what they're trying to, or what NetEase is trying to get pissed off and sue about is that, well, damn, they like copied them, the motions and the actions, and that's a very slippery slope in legal issues, because what you're trying to say is that you copyrighted actions. You can't copyright an action. You can copyright a dance. You can copyright a karate move. Actually, you can do that. You can copyright an action sequence. You can't do it after the fact, though. So if somebody, like, if you made like a movie, and then you see it happen in anime a lot too, where we'll see like some epic fight, and then you go and see that this fight happened in another series, and you're like, damn, they just pretty much road traced it. Can't sue for that. It just looks bad. It like damn, like Hoyo, you got like $1 billion. Why you roto tracing? Make like hire somebody, like spend some money. You got $1 billion. Spend some money and make a damn animation. You ain't got a roto trace, dog. So, obviously they're gonna try to litigate. They're gonna lose though. But I see people being butthurt about that, but it happens all the time. And in the industry, it's just a simple fact that, like, damn, y'all copying, why y'all copying? And then everybody moves along because you can't really sue over that. Like I said, they're going to try to litigate, and nothing's going to happen. You're going to see is the case is just going to go away. It's just unfortunate. I'm disappointed with Hoyo for that, because it's like you could have just paid some people. You could have paid indie people, just people who make indie animations, that they could have just paid to do that, and it would have been cheaper than whatever they just did that was literally a roto trace. Companies sometimes do really interesting, idiotic things. Catch you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching the video all the way to the end. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I love everybody who stops by. You guys always make my day with your comments. It's always funny and whimsical and gives me a reason to keep going. So be legendary, and I will see you guys soon. Peace.